Okay, everybody, it is the start of a new weekly reading vlog for Realm-a-thon, and I have not started anything. I think coming off of Peace Talks, I'm probably going to continue with His Majesty's Dragon because I have the audio. I'm actually about to head out to go see my dad for his birthday. It is on Wednesday, and he lives about 2 hours from me, so I think I'm going to go up there and see him for a little bit and eat some good food, maybe get a cupcake or two, and I'm going to listen to His Majesty's Dragon on the way up there. After having an entire weekend of graphic novels and novellas, I'm ready to get back into my chunkier books, and I've basically thrown my TBR out the window, so who knows what the wrap-up's gonna look like. But for now, I am going to get out of here and get on the road. It's raining, so I want to leave a little bit early, but I will check in with you guys in a bit. So I just got home from Dad's. We had a good visit, got us some good food, and I was able to get a huge chunk of His Majesty's Dragon done on the way down there. This book is actually pretty short. It's only like a 9-hour audiobook, and it follows our protagonist, Lawrence, who is kind of forced into bonding with this dragon once it hatches. And so far, it's just been a lot about their relationship and how it's affecting both of their lives and some of the dragon training. I think we're going to be getting more into the war aspects of it here toward the end. And I am loving the dragon relationship. It's such a sweet, almost dad-son friend. It's just a really close, really sweet relationship, and I'm enjoying that quite a lot. I will say that this is a pretty character-driven book, and I'm okay with that right now because one of the main perspectives is the dragon, and I find that very interesting. But I am starting to get a little bit bored, so I'm going to need it to speed up the pace a little bit and to have a few more things happen. I did ask Dad about it because I think he's read them, and he was like, well, it's the first book. It's going to have a lot of setup. So fingers crossed that means later books will start to rev up and have more war and politics about them. But for now, I'm enjoying it, not regretting reading it at all. So I'm going to finish this probably within the next couple of hours, and I will check back in with you guys once I'm finished and give you my final thoughts on it. Okay, so last night I finished His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. I ended up giving this one a low 4-star. I had a really good time with it. I love Temeraire and Lawrence's relationship. I was not expecting the dragons to have such a prominent role and to talk and to be bonded so uniquely with their handlers, but I ended up having a good time. It is very character focused, and because of that, even though it's a very short book, probably 200 of the 260 pages were very slow moving and there wasn't a whole lot of plot. It was just getting to know Lawrence and getting to know Temeraire and their relationship together and how the aviators worked. So while I did enjoy that, I did find myself getting a bit bored and zoning out from time to time. Then toward the end, we really picked up and had a lot more action. We had a betrayal. So that part was a lot of fun, but I am curious to see where the plot comes in book 2, because there are 9 of these and I didn't see a huge plot in the first one. I do know that it's about the wars and the war against the French, but that in and of itself just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough plot to me to span 9 books. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I do plan to continue. I think it was a lot of fun, but I'm hoping that we get a little bit more action and still the good character development, because I really enjoyed that relationship. It's a lot more like sweet and less haughty dragon than I was anticipating, which I ended up really enjoying. So let me know down in the comments if you have read His Majesty's Dragon and what you thought about the later books in the series, because I am very, very curious. But I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I have not read hardly anything off of my TBR. It's literally sitting there staring at me with 6 books left on it, several of which are quite chunky, so I probably need to do that. I'm going to be sprinting with Becca later this afternoon, so hopefully I can pick up at least one of those and get a decent chunk read, but I will check back in with you guys when I have more to say later. Okay, so I am on sprints with Becca. It is the bail emergency meeting. Call to action, we are losing, so we have got to get with the program. So I have been told to read my fantasy romance, so I'm going to be starting River of Shadows by Karina Holly. Shocker, this one is actually on my TBR, so win-win, get us points for bail, read a TBR book, sounds great. So this one actually is a Finnish mythology story. She says it's a dark romance, but not quite dark enough to be considered full-on dark romance, which I'm intrigued by. And then it also has a playlist, so I have scanned in the playlist. I'm gonna pop that on, get started reading this. Hopefully I love it and can rack us up some serious points for Team Bail. So really quickly, I just wanted to show you guys the blanket that I made for my mom for Mother's Day. It's not perfect. It has a few little bumpy spots where I can see that maybe I got my stitches a little looser than I meant to. I don't think you guys can see them. It's not quite as big as I wanted it to be, and I still need to weave in the ends, but I think it'll make a really good lapgan. I think she's going to really enjoy it. Ollie obviously likes it. I need him to get off of the blanket. But anyway, it's done. It only took me about a week to do. This one was super easy. So if you guys are interested in the pattern, let me know. I can leave it linked down below. But anyway, this is it. I need to go read now. Okay, hey all. So today has been a really crappy day. It's just, I had to work in the hospital, which I don't usually like to do. I like to work in the clinic, and it was one thing after another all day long. And so I have read nothing, nor do I really feel like reading anything. I started the audiobook for The Solace of Sharp Claws. That was it. And it's terrible. It's not very good. The narration is just not great. And I enjoyed the first book, but I didn't listen to it. And so I really, really need an audiobook, but I'm afraid that I'm going to have to pick up this one physically because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the narration. Actually ended up calling my mom on the way home because I just was not in the mood to read. So once I do pick something else up, I will touch back base with you guys. Hopefully it'll be tonight or tomorrow because I really need to get some reading done. But I think Peace Talks just threw everyone into a giant slump, and I'm struggling to come out of it. So fingers crossed that I will be back in the mood to read tomorrow. And once I read something, I will catch back up with you guys. Okay, so once again, I have read nothing. I am actually planning to read tonight. I don't know what it's going to be. I've started and stopped like 4 books at this point because I just can't focus on anything. So this vlog may be super, super boring, but really quick, just in case I do decide to post this vlog, I wanted to show you a couple of things that I got book mail. One was There Is No Saints. No, There Is No Devil, which this should be the first book in the There Are No Saints books. You know what I'm just realizing? I think this is book 2. I think I bought book 2 instead of book 1. Well, crap. Anyway, There Are No Saints, There Is No Devil is a serial killer romance by Sophie Lark. At some point, when I get the correct book, then I plan to read those. Oops. And then the other thing that I bought that I did not realize was this chunky is the second Zodiac Academy. So Becca was talking about it, said that if she doesn't go ahead and read the second one now, she may never. And I agree with this wholeheartedly. This thing is big. Like, the first one wasn't good enough for this one to be this big. But anyway, that was my little haul. I'm going to decide what to read, and I am determined to actually read something tonight so that I can update you guys on at least a semi-successful reading week. But I'm going to go do that, and I will check back in once I decide what I'm reading. Can anyone guess what video I'm filming? I'm terrified. I really, really, really don't want to do this. It's going to take forever. Okay, hi all. Surprisingly, I have actually read a little bit since I talked to you last. It is the next morning. Sorry, I'm wearing the same shirt. You're just going to have to be okay with that. One of the things that I've picked up is The River of Shadows by Karina Holly. I don't know if I've said much about this yet, so really quickly, this is a book on Finnish mythology about a girl that goes to bury her dad and finds out that he is a shaman and has been taken down into the underworld. I'm not really sure how I feel about this one right now. Becca in the books is also reading it, and I don't think she's really sure as either. It started off strong, and then I'm getting really annoyed with the main character. I'm not very far. I'm only like 100 pages in, but even 100 pages in, the main character has seen so many mythical, weird things, and she's like, I know I'm down in the underworld on a mystical river taking me to the king of the undead, but are you sure I'm not hallucinating? Like, I think this is still all false. And I'm like, come on, girl. Like, you've seen so many other things at this point. Come on, let's get with the program, because it's just really annoying when she stops every 5 seconds to be like, I know I just saw mermaids, but are you sure? Ugh, it's driving me crazy. And the author just at this point feels like trying to do too much. She's trying to put too much of the Finnish mythology, just pack it in on the front. And I want a little bit more of the story to be drawn out and not just creature. So hopefully it will get a little bit better. I'm going to continue it. I do want to finish it. I know that it ends on a cliffhanger, and I think the second book just got a cover release like 2 or 3 days ago, and it's beautiful as well. Hopefully I love this one. Hopefully she kind of settles into her rhythm, but as of right now, it's kind of like a for me. And then the other one that I am reading is The Solace of Sharp Claws by Laura Pekekrik. This is the sequel to The Longing of Lone Wolves in the second in the Fae Guardian series, or Wolfsmut as you might have heard it called before. I'm enjoying this one. This follows Rush's son and his like girl that is being thawed from the ice. The main overarching plot of this series is that we used to have our world, and then something happened, and there was like a bomb that went off and destroyed a lot of like the metal, plastic, artificial stuff that's in our world now. And once all of that artificial stuff was gone, magic was able to come back. And now you have the Fae that are shapeshifters, vampires, etc. And this girl named Clark and a couple of her friends have been thawed in ice for 2,000 years and are now de-thawing and going to help kind of like save the world or something like that. And I'm enjoying this series. I liked the first book a lot. I gave it a 4-star. This one, I'm enjoying the story, but I'm trying to listen to it on audiobook, and it is terrible. The main character, main male perspective is not too bad. He's doing an okay job. It's tolerable. I can listen to it. But the female character, I don't know if she's just trying to make everything overly dramatic, but her inflections are driving me insane. Everything is either breathy or, what was something that one of the main characters said? Like, she would be like, she groaned and grabbed her hand. This was going to take some getting used to. That's how she reads the entire book, and it's driving me crazy. And I'm not really picky about narrators, but I'm not sure if I can continue listening to this one, but I desperately need an audiobook, so I'm going to try. I think I am about 100-ish pages into this one as well. You're sitting behind my phone, so I can't exactly look, but I think it's roughly 100 pages. So hopefully between the two of these, I can get some pretty decent reading done today, and then we will wrap up this vlog and start the next week. So I will check back in with you guys once I have read a little bit more of those, or hopefully finished one of them, and we're going to defeat this slump. I have faith in me. We're going to defeat this slump. So I'm sorry this vlog has probably been so incredibly boring. I slumped so hard this week between Peace Talks and reading a lot for Peace Talks and having to work outside of my comfort zone in a different place in my job. It really took a lot out of me, and I did not get much reading done. However, to close out this vlog, I do get to report that I have finished The Solace of Sharp Claws. So once again, this is a fantasy romance. It is the second book in the Fae Guardian series, which is which follows a different character in each book but has an overarching plot. And I really enjoyed this book overall. I liked Jasper and Laurel. I found her to be very relatable, and I like the alpha male kind of thing that we had going on with Thorn here. I, again, hated the audiobook. The narrator for Thorn wasn't terrible, but the narrator for Laurel, whew, buddy. So I eventually got used to listening to her, except for during the sex scenes, and it was so cringy that I don't even know if it was a good sex scene. I just had to skip forward through it because I could not listen to her narrate it anymore. But other than that, I want to say that the narration didn't dampen my enjoyment of this book at all, but I honestly can't say that because I just did not enjoy it. I do think I'm going to give this book a 4 stars overall. I think it should get us some pretty good points for Bale. Should be increasing points, and I'm excited to get into next week and hopefully get a little bit more reading done. I did not get any more done of The River of Shadows by Karina Halley. That's on my agenda for next week. And hopefully next week will be a much more entertaining reading vlog. If this is the first reading vlog you're watching from me, I'm terribly sorry. I promise they're usually more interesting than this, so please consider watching the next one, maybe. But anyway, I hope you guys had a solid week 2 of Realm-a-thon. We have hit the halfway point, so keep going strong, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!